Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Good, so what do? We have 95 open pull requests. Good, let's see. Approved, 9. Okay, we can merge something, right? Yeah. Pinned RTS build option. This pull request improves the flexibility of the build system. Yeah. Okay. To installable targets. Okay. Build. Okay. I think we can just merge that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Then next is here. Jet locomotor. Okay. Okay. Proof. Okay. Reset. Reset jet locomotor to normal when attack locomotor timer expires. Does this fix the user error? No longer stays in supersonic mode after an attack was aborted. Just say the user or no longer stays in supersonic mode after an attack was aborted. Okay. By the way, let me blacken the screen real fast. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Bring it back. Okay. Then that is merged. Okay, fantastic. Then bug fix gunship. Select. Let's rename the title to here. Select Spectre gunship only on the client and controls the unit. Cool. Oh, no, I lost the view. Where is it? Here. Okay. Got a heart here. Yeah. Good. Then we need to wait for the. I typically like to wait for the builds to finish before I make a new one, so that we have a record of builds, history of builds. Good, then the next one is this. Okay, this one can also be merged then. The next touch-ups in the code are readable. Split contents, okay. Fix zagged shapes on steep diagonal terrain. Fixes that. Fix zagged shapes. I think we can also say that this is a follow-up for this one here. Yeah. Fixes that and follow-up for oh Jesus. Follow-up for that. Oh, what happened there? What? We'll be right back. Okay. So, good. Then while we wait for the build, let's look at other reviews. So let's look at author. Oh, author. I always look at the same authors. Let me see what is currently on top there. Probably some authors that we haven't looked at in a while. I didn't look at this guy yet. Yeah. Stefan. GitHub on. Yeah. Let me look at the author. This guy. He has 4 open. Yeah. Okay, what about this one here? this in any setting. Terrain. There's a flag for this. If it's inefficient, but I do not recommend this now because 3D view is under heavy development. Resolve the black screen bug caused by driver forced MSAA. By the way, can you also make a triage? Can you make a label pass on game patch repo issues? This change aims to resolve the black screen bug caused by driver forced MSAA, continuing and refining the work started in there. The bug when users force MSAA via the driver control panel, the driver secretly upgrades the depth buffer to be multi-sampled. However, the Direct3D still reports multi-sample type none for created textures. When screen default filter attempts to use render to texture, it binds a non-MSAA texture to the secretly MSAA depth buffer. The surface mismatch is a D3D API violation that suddenly breaks depth testing. Fix this issue by permanently disabling the RTT pass inside screen default filter pre-render, falling back to the copy-rect smudge path. Trace can compare histograms and zones between two different captures. Looking at the traces over render zone copy is almost invisible below pass default in both pathways. This smudge rendering is incredibly fast either way. I added the detailed zones and did a direct comparison between the RTT and copy-rect smudge copy. A true one was one-on-one benchmark, but reverting to a pre-safety commit. Reapplying tracing and resolving build conflicts, which I've partially done but found overly time intensive. Given the minimal time frame time impact. I think copyrights is sufficient here, but if you have ideas for a cleaner benchmark setup, I'm happy to iterate. I'm not concerned about performance. We just want to fix the bug. Copyrights. Okay, let me take a look at the code. Copyrights. Yeah, pre-render. Okay. Redirecting rendering to a non-multisample texture while using a multisample depth buffer is an API violation. DXA. Force failure pass to avoid MSAA mismatch. Okay. I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't like this. Yeah. Isn't there a macro for this? Save release, I think. No. I thought there was something like that. Save release. This. Oh, but it's only here. Let me see if there's another one of these. No. Release. Ref PTR release. Maybe that. Ref PTR. No, that's release ref. Okay, I don't see it. Good. I think commits are probably done building, right? No, almost. Then I've been sitting on this fix for almost a year in fear of it sparking controversy. What? Why? Bug fix gunship. Select gunship. Okay, great. Yeah, here I wonder. Let me ask ChatGPT. Is there a macro that does this, that can be used to simplify the following? Say C++ macro. Save release, yeah. Is there one? Is there a standard one in DirectX? DirectX 8 already? Probably not. No. It's so repetitive, this code here. I propose using the save release macro for this, but that needs moving. It's moving from W3D water, I think. Yeah, from water to I would say WW defines, right? To WW defines and WW common maybe. WW common, yeah. To WW common.h. That macro then first needs moving from what CP. Using that for this to kill the repetition. Okay. Copyrights. Running the texture. New line. Okay, I think what we should do here is we should test it if it actually fixes the issue. Because from the change, it's not obvious to me if it does or not. So it's fixed, right? Triple A, microwave AA. Yeah. Okay. Then let's build that. Good. Let's see if that fixes problems or not. Yeah. Okay. So we are looking for the microwave tank. Oh, it works indeed. Oh, that's pretty cool. Cool. I like that. Looks amazing. Very nice. So I can write here, I can confirm that it also fixes the smudge on my machine. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So he removed the use copy rects, yeah, and here he did disable RTT. Maybe clarify what RTT means. Render to texture, I suspect. When MSAA is forced by NVIDIA driver profile, the D3D8 API reports multi-sample type none. Maybe and render target returns SOK, but the depth buffer is actually multi-sample internally. Rendering to a non-MSAA texture with this hidden MSAA depth buffer corrupts depth testing, producing a black screen. The smudge system has its own copy path that works without RTT. redirecting rendering to a non-multi-sample texture while using a multi-sample depth buffer is an API violation. Multi-sample type. Use back buffer dimensions instead of tactical view dimensions. Back buffer dimensions of tactical view dimensions. Forced MSA surface class copy uses copy rects with null rects for whole surface resolve. This requires a destination surface to match the source surface dimensions exactly. Using the tactical view dimension causes a size mismatch. What? This comment will be confusing. This comment will be confusing because say the dimension of the tactical view will be confusing to the next reader because it will be removed and removed from this code. I suggest to describe this differently. Let me 3D smudge the tactical view. Not back texture or not is rendering the texture. When RTT is disabled globally, the forced MSA, the copy path is still available. Back buffer, get back buffer. Get description. Background texture. Can this be placed higher up? This early return be placed higher up. Permanently disable RTT to prevent repeated failures. Okay. Start run auto texture. Repetition. Back buffer. Okay, I think this one is built now, right? Yeah. Okay, then let me merge this one next. Change space of contents. Yeah, nothing changes. Mm-hmm. 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 Fix exact shapes on steep diagonal terrain. Yeah, fix exact shapes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Then I think that is done. Yeah. Okay, so he removed the copyrights everywhere, and he now uses it as well. Yeah. Okay. So, and I think that's what the conversation here was about in regards to performance, whether it's slow or not. The driver secretly upgrades the depth buffer to be multi-samples. However, still reports multi-sampled none for created textures. Attempts to use render to texture, it binds a non-MSA texture to this secretly MSA depth buffer. The surface mismatch is an API violation. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there a performance concern or not? Maybe we can accurately tell if MSA or force with some of the changes like below. Back buffer format. To find this bug, I tested a benchmark, but the test ran differently. What is this? Benchmark. Copyrights benchmark. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Test run. Okay. Okay. An extra robust benchmarking tools using Capra. Actually, try to set up, bring in Tracy profiling in this branch, compare them. Over render zone, copy is almost invisible. Smudge rendering is incredibly fast either way. Added the detail zones and did a direct comparison between RTT and copyrights. Reverting to a pre-safety commit. Reapplying Tracy. Okay. Render. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Past default. Well, it's 1 millisecond here. Past default. Oh, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Render zone copy is almost invisible below past default. Past default. Which one is it then? Can you zoom in more into it? Yeah. Let's do the following test. So right now we have running debug. Let's compile in with optimizations, yeah. So do release. Yeah, release. So this will compile with compiler optimizations. Yeah. I think it's okay. Okay. So that's released now with debug functionality. Let's load this map. It's good. Okay, so we have 500 FPS. Let's build some nice supply here. Okay, and then we build a bunch of, we need a strategy. We build a whole bunch of microwave tanks. And then we see how the performance tanks. Okay, so baseline, we should take a different map. Yeah, let me open the test map here. We have an empty test map. Test this one. Test all factions. There we go. That's my favorite test map because there's nothing on it. No. Surprisingly, the performance here is worse than on the big map. Why is that? Okay, but it's more stable, I guess. Good. Then let's send the chopper away out of here. We need also a strategy center. Yeah, I'm surprised that the frame rate is so low here on my machine. Good. Then we built a bunch of microwave tanks. We just spam them, yeah. Let's see how the frame rate tanks or not. I think we need some faster. There we go. Okay, so we have a bunch of guys now. Okay, so frame rate, it does go down. If we scroll up here, we have 400, 500 frames. Let's move these guys up here. Yeah? Let's move this guy here. Let them gather. Okay, so here we have 200 FPS. Okay, now I scroll here to the side. Now we have 460. Yeah. 500 max. Okay, so there is some cost. So it's around about 200 FPS. How about we create a save? We say microwaves. Okay. So 200 FPS. Then let's do the following. We close the game. Then we remove this change. We go to main branch. Yeah. And now we compile. Oh, it needs to rebuild the whole thing. Oh. Okay. I don't know why it compiled so much. Probably touched some header somewhere. Good. So from 500 or 450 FPS to 200. Yeah. Then let's do a load. Okay. So then we need to unlock the render FPS to uncapped. Okay. Oh. Well, we still see the effects. Huh? Why do I still see the effects now? Okay, that I don't understand. Ah, because it's so many. Right. Right, it did work when there were like more than a few. Right, okay. So if we compare this, we get 230 FPS. Seems to be a bit faster, right? Yeah. So it's not a very scientific test, but it's 230. It seems a bit higher than the other one. Yeah. It's fluctuating a lot, but I think we can say it's around 230 FPS. Yeah. Okay, I think that's fair to say. Let's double check again with the change. Yeah. There we go. Then we need to compile the shit again. It's probably recompiling everything because of this. One of the refactors that just touched everything, right? Like the. I can't remember what, but probably something from Baptista. Yeah. So, load game. Okay, then we increase to uncapped. No, it's also 230. Yeah. Okay, it's very comparable, looks like. Yeah. At least here on this relatively modern hardware. My hardware is not 25 years old. Yeah. Okay. Okay, no, I think the performance looks fine. Yeah. I did a very basic performance comparison from before to after with how many are there? 1, 2, 3. How do we count this? I have an idea how we count that. We take a picture, we open Paint, here, then we drop that in here, and then we count by drawing rectangle over these. How do we have a fill color here? Fill here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35. I did a very basic performance coming from between before and to after this change with 35 microwave tanks in the scene, taking in an empty scene in an otherwise empty scene, takes save game and then load it between before and after fix. Before around 230 FPS, after around 230 FPS. I think we need to not very much, and you're not worry about it now. About performance for now. Microwave, the microwave tank is also not a spammy unit that is spammed much. Okay, do I have anything else to say about it? So it's good that it works. It's good that the performance is not degraded. The code looks pretty straightforward. I don't fully understand what exactly fixes it. He did describe it, but I already forgot it. Background texture. So redirecting rendering to non-multi-sample texture while using a multi-sample depth buffer. Multi-sample type is none. Avoid unnecessary mismatch. Okay. Texture. So texture. Okay. Okay. Very nice. My machine, AMD video card. Title needs updating because it is not NVIDIA specific bug. Okay, cool. Then this will be bug critical. Bug critical ZH. Bug critical 0 hour. Milestone, major bug fixes. Okay. Good. Split the issues to label. What? Number of address comments per PR. Nice catch. Fixed. Well, we did that. I often write fixed. Updating pricing to a base. Yeah, upgrading pricing to a base plus usage model. $30 per dev per month. $1 per review. Pfft. Yeah. Good. Then I would say we go to main. Fetch and prune all remotes. Yeah. Okay. Then the next thing we need to do is again rebase our camera branch and split off the next thing. Yeah. Yeah. The net packets factor still needs proving. Okay. Pull. Great. Then we delete this one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. And this one as well. Good. I think I will end it here. Yeah, only a short session today here. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.